Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in the city of Houston, you can reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in this week. As you can see, holding it down, man. Here with us on Thursday is the Texas real estate king, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, man. Look, check this out, bro.
We back rocking.
No. This is it. Because, see, I got to give you a proper intro because, see, you debuting something new this week, man. So Mr. Brooks is not only a highly successful real estate broker. He's not only a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, known the world over as the Texas real estate king, but also today, most importantly, he's the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. Directly and introducing exclusively here on Thursday, the Ice White Pure Hustle, top and bottom. Mr. Larry Brooks, man, what's going on, man? First things first. What's up with the Ice White medallion, man? What's going on? Where can we get that? Is it out there? It's the summertime. It's hot.
It's the summertime, man. It's hot. We trying to get you ready for Labor Day, man. Shout out to the t-shirt spot, my brother Danjo. You know what I'm saying? We just trying to make sure the world know what's popping. And plus, I figured since I was rocking the beard, I figured I'd go ahead and rock some white to go along with it this week.
Hey, man, look, and this is good to have you here holding it down with us, man. Yeah, the Ice White Pure Hustle, man. Everybody get that. That thing there is crazy.
Yeah.
But we happen to notice, during last week you had a chance to go out, venture out, do some things, man. It's something that's super cool. Those who follow you online had the opportunity to see you starting some preseason, pre-football training with your son, man. Now look.
Here's the thing. In my house, we're not ever out of shape. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we're always it's either we working out just to maintain the beauty of life, a healthy life, or we getting ready for season. So this time he and I just had an opportunity for me to be in a room with him at the same time, putting in the grind. And, me putting some of the fine touches that I know with, strength training that I think will, be impressive as we go back into camp. So
now, see, as you know, you've had your son playing sports for a while now, man. And you've never been seen as one of those over-the-top, crazy football parents. So do you have any advice for all those Texas high school football moms and dads on the eve of football season, man? Keep everybody from just getting too crazy and going viral this season, man. Let's not go viral.
It's funny. It's tough, though. It's Texas football, baby. Everybody, you get that sense of urgency, that sense of camaraderie. Now I'm in the stands. We do. Me and other people, we go backwards and forwards all the time. It's just a part of the game, right? I'm gonna see something that they didn't see. They're gonna see something I didn't see, and we just gonna battle it out. But I will say this, keep your hands to yourself.
And look, don't go viral.
Don't go viral.
We're not going viral.
To yourself. Don't go viral, and understand that every moment is a teachable moment for your child. So don't overly stress the situation. They still kids. The other parents' kids are still kids. Just remember that.
Hey, look, man, I appreciate the advice.
And don't drink before you go to the games, man. Be sober so you be in your right mind. So you don't run across my stands and I got to choke you out.
Hey, look, man, because it's funny because we laugh at those sports parents that go viral.
Yeah.
People fighting at 5-year-old softball games. So please heed Mr. Brooks' advice, man. Mind your manners this fall. Everybody could go out there on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays and enjoy themselves, man.
Yeah.
Hey, look, drink and go crazy on Sundays when the big boys play.
Yeah.
But when the kids is out there, man, let's try to mind our manners this year, man. Look.
No doubt about it.
Today's episode, Mr. Brooks, normally this is where, you share with the audience.
I was thinking the same thing.
Like where
but now some of the links. Matter of fact, I'm going to let me do this.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Normally, this is the part of the show where I speak a little bit of background on how I built a relationship with our guests, where the guests came from. But this week, we have the opportunity for you to have built that relationship first. And so I would love for you to share how it is that you and our guests of today had the opportunity.
Man, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity.
Come on, man. You the man, man. That's all I'm
because,
saying.
It's cool. One of the things I love about hosting this platform with you is that we give the audience an opportunity to see that the guests that we have aren't just guests. We don't just reach out on social media. We don't just reach out via email. These are actually people that we partner with, brands that we support and work together with. And today's guest comes from a part of that networking tree. So big shout out to Mr. Kenny Henry, the King Connector.
Yeah.
You've seen him here as a co-host on the Prime Real Estate Network. He's also been a guest. He also educated our audience as far as honey mead wines, the production process, and what goes along with bringing a product like that to market. And this fine gentleman that's sitting in with us this week is not only a business partner, but also a brand ambassador with Mr. Kenny Henry. So I'm so proud to introduce this week's guest, because anytime, Mr. Brooks, we can get more education about wine making, wine tasting, and meaderies, brother. You know, it's right up our alley. So for all those that enjoy happy hours, for all those that enjoy hosting fine networking events, today's episode is for you. So let's introduce this week's guest. This fine gentleman is the owner and founder of Black's Ferry Meadery here in the greater Houston, Texas area. I would like to introduce Mr. Calvin Greene II. How you doing, brother?
Doing well. Appreciate y'all having me today.
No doubt,
so
man.
excited
Thank
to be
you for
here.
being here, Calvin.
Thank you.
Now, of course, first things first, I introduced Black's Ferry as a greater Houston area company, but of course we know it's not really in Houston. So just introduce our audience to where the meadery is. For those that haven't had an opportunity to be educated, could you define for them what a mead is and what it is that you guys do at your meadery here in Texas?
So our building is located in West Columbia, Texas. So that's riding 288 south, just headed towards Surfside Beach, Lake Jackson, Angleton. You know, we're over in that area. And you hang a right on 35, you'll run right into us. So we're at 325 East Brazos Avenue in West Columbia, Texas. And really, so mead, it's the oldest fermented beverage known to man. They call it nectar of the gods. It's been around since 8000 BC. So the difference between your wine and your mead, your wine, your primary fermentables are going to be your fruit juices. But with us, it's honey. So everything we have is going to be primarily fermented with honey. So that's local honey coming right out of Alvin, Texas as well. So it's a locally sourced. So what we do is, and that's in primary, what we call primary. We put all that stuff in primary. So I tell people it's like the commercial. You set it and forget it once you put in your honey, water, and yeast. So in about 3 months, set it and forget it, you get some good old-fashioned honey wine. But we take that in primary, and then we let it ferment. If I want to add some additional fruits or, you know, something to give it a little extra flavor, then I'll do that in secondary. So I'll rack it off what they call the lees, and then I'll actually, put my little fruits and stuff in there and let it absorb the flavors from there. So it's a simple process. It's really not that complicated, but you have to have a lot of attention to detail. So your cleanliness, how your vessel's clean, is your environment clean? You know, what types of your juices, where you sourcing those from, because any type of contamination can mess up the batches you're trying to yield. So
you know, when we think about wine, well, when I think about the process, is this also done in barrels, or where do you store it or do the processes?
So ours are going to be in these 30-gallon fermenters. So they're going to be plastic, but I do have wooden barrels if I want to give it like an oaky type of flavor. So those types of things, it just varies. But right now, the cheapest way when we first got started was to use the plastic. So.
I had no idea. So
for those who've never had a honey-based wine before, or mead, what would you describe as some of the differences between what they traditionally have been having that wasn't honey-based versus what they would expect when they taste a honey-based product that you produce?
So with our product, you really get the essence of honey, and that's really the main difference. When you taste it, you're just going to get that sweet flavor. You'll get that remnant of honey on the back end. Some people say like ours may be a little bit heavier on the tongue because we do have a lot more residual sugar. I make mine super sweet, so but it's really going to be the key difference there. Ours as well, like it has the same type of shelf life as wine. It's really not that major of a difference. It's all in your fermentable, so it's really in that honey character, and it's the honey that you get, the essence of it once you're drinking it. That's the huge difference in it all.
You know, one of the great things about, and we gave a shout out to Mr. Kenny Henry, the great thing about knowing that gentleman and being introduced to you is that he educates those people who don't know much about meads, and he's hosted a mead tasting at our office at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm in the past.
Okay.
Yep.
And it was cool because he had different samples, different flavors. And one of the things that I was able to get from that education is how they have different meads for different occasions, for different moods, that type of thing. So just from a connoisseur standpoint, with it being the summertime, with it being kind of hot outside, what type of mead do you think would work best for people who have events coming up this weekend or in the next couple of weeks?
So I like the more of the fruitier, the citrus flavors as well. So like if you going with a watermelon but with a twist of lime. Okay. So we have flavors like that we offer, or a straight watermelon. But the thing is with our flavors, they're super sweet. So I call them sack meads. You're going to start at what you call 35 bricks. It's so you have a high sugar content, and so I ferment that and get it to about 16%, but I still keep that sweetness. But the neat thing about it is I can add in the seltzers or anything else. A lot of people traditionally just drink mead just by itself, right? With me, I like to combine it with different things. So like I said, I hit it with like seltzer water or, Topo Chico, give it that little fizz, So you can hit it with like a Prosecco. One of my, the things I like is orange blossom. Add a little orange juice, you have a good mimosa. Yeah. So it's,
I like my mimosas. Shout out to the mimosas out there.
That's the only reason my wife is with me. I pour one of those in the morning, we're good. We're good. So, but it's those types of things you can really lighten it up and have it lighter on the palate going into the summertime. Yeah. That'll make it cool. So.
One of the cool things, and this is something that, like I said before I got an education as far as meaderies and meads, I never really realized is that one of the cool things about having a company like yours is that there are people that are not only interested in the product, enjoying meads, the different tastes and flavors, but there are also people that are interested in the actual process, the creative process. So could you talk about the events that you host on site at your meadery that shows and gives people a little background behind the curtain as far as production and type of things people could enjoy if they were actually interested in coming on site?
Yeah, most definitely. So we host a mead making class and a wine making class every month. So if you want to get more into like understanding how to ferment your wines, we don't actually make you stomp on it, crush up the grapes with your feet or nothing like that. But it's we'll get the juice and you actually get to go through the process though. So you get to choose your yeast, get to choose how sweet you want it, how dry. You get to choose how heavy you want it. Yeah. So we go through all of the parameters of wine, and then we tailor it towards your liking or your taste. So that's a really neat class, but we do that for the wine and, like I said, and for the mead. Okay. So anybody interested, just look on our Facebook page, Instagram will post it, and you can sign up for the class and participate. But got a lot of good positive feedback. We were actually featured in the local paper, The Facts, here recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
congratulations on that, man.
Appreciate it.
I mean, you know what you're doing. I mean, you're putting the right strategies in place with it.
Appreciate it. Do a little something.
I sit here with the Texas Real Estate King, and one of the things that Larry is most known for is some of the things that he's willing to do from a marketing perspective. Different brands that he's worked with, some of the things that he does that's unique to push the brands and get it more exposure. One of the things that I've seen with different meaderies, wine companies, is that they'll allow you to label or small run some of your own bottles. Yeah. For different like title companies, real estate offices. Oh yeah. Are those something that you guys offer, like some custom white label wines people could use for marketing? And if so, could you go into that process a little bit for those in the community?
Most definitely. We have it all lined out. Like I said, go on the Facebook page. It's a little pamphlet, but there are different tiers if you want to start off with just, like 10 bottles, or if you want to go, 50. But it's more, the price will range on that. And it's just a simple process. We only have a standard 4 wines to choose from for that process. But you come in, taste what you like, and we'll custom make your labels. Like I said, the flavor profile, if you want more in depth, you pay a little bit more money, we can get you a custom flavor. But if you just want to come in and choose from the 4 flavors, we'll hook you up with the label, take you through the process, and then pretty much you'll have a completed bottle within 2 weeks. So.
Oh wow! So you saying it's like a 2-week turnaround for that?
Oh yeah, it's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way of marketing.
No, absolutely, because I had a chance to shout out to the fam over at White Star Title.
Yeah.
I had a chance over there, and I noticed that they had their wine and champagne bottles labeled up. So big shout out to
White Star gonna always be on top.
You feel me? Big shout out to the homie Kim them over there, man. You know, I saw that and soaked up some G.
Them Edwardses don't play over there.
So you know, I had to soak up a little something, man. I appreciate you, Mr. Greene, being so transparent as far as the corporate process, some of the things that you guys offer from not only a product standpoint, but also a services standpoint. So I want to talk to you when we come back from our break a little bit about your background as an entrepreneur and business person. Because, you know, as Larry and I both know, as we go through our entrepreneurial journey, regardless of what aspect of business we're in, we've always seen that people that look like us always seem to be underrepresented. So in the winemaking, meadery business, I was wondering if you had similar experiences, and if so, what you had gained from that. So if you wouldn't mind, I want to talk to you about that after the break.
Okay.
Thank everybody for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. Mr. Brooks and I will be back right after we share these messages from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
I'm serial entrepreneur Larry W. Brooks, and I'd like to personally invite you to take a closer look at the Pure Hustle clothing brand, along with several books that I've authored to take entrepreneurs, small business owners to the next level of their business. So please take a look at shoplwb.com. How do you survive?
3 years ago, I set out on a mission to create the blueprint for how we could go into our own neighborhoods, buy blocks, renovate them, and combat the negative effects of gentrification. Today, that vision is reality. Our project is located in the heart of the historic Lyons Avenue Business District in 5th Ward of Houston. Lyons Avenue was once a thriving black business district with businesses and commerce. However, after desegregation, that all changed. Now, we are recreating that legacy. These buildings are 100 years old. We just gave them a new life. This house was built in 1925 and was vacant for years. It's now a podcast studio and is rented out as an event space for everything from engagement parties to TV commercials, music videos. City Council even had meetings here. We've had birthday parties. We've had baby showers, and the $5,000 to $10,000 a month generated in this building.
This is Prime Real Estate Rick, and I'm here to present to you this week's Prime Real Estate Network Home Buyer Insider. This beautiful 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath home is located in the highly sought after Hanover Forest community in North Harris County. This beautiful property can be you and your family's private sanctuary from all the hustle and bustle of big city living. Reach out to the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, or myself, Mr. Prime Real Estate Rick Davis, to schedule you and your family's private showing today. Welcome back to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please feel free to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're a real estate professional, an aspiring real estate professional, or a student scheduled to graduate from real estate school in the future, and you want to learn more about Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm and the Brooks & Davis Real Estate family, reach out to us directly. Schedule a consultation at brooksanddavis.com, where Mr. Michael G. Davis, or the Texas Real Estate King himself, Mr. Larry Brooks, will have a great time talking to you about the environment and the culture over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to thank the Texas Real Estate King for holding it down with us this week, brother. What's been going on?
Listen, man, we in here, we learning, and more importantly than just the learning that we're getting from today's guest is the opportunity. You know, I love one of the things that I really took away from it is I think that there's a good team building opportunity with maybe if you have a group and y'all want to go out and learn how to make wine together. Some of the terms I don't really remember, but honey together in the way it's infused in wine. Like, I think that's a great opportunity to do team building and really just enjoy yourself and take something away, and then learn how to brand and market through the product that he'll be helping you out with too. So,
I would be remiss, man, this weekend. And see, I'm not going to even put you on the spot at the end of the show. I'm gonna do it right now. No, because we got the Brooks and Davis family cookout this weekend, man. So big shout out to everybody at the Brooks and Davis family. Follow Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm on IG. Keep up with everything that's going on this week over at the.
Y'all are invited. Come on out.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
there it is, bud. See?
Let me feed you.
Oh, wow. You said that.
Just saying.
The Texas Real Estate King is feeding boys this weekend, man.
Hey,
so come out to the cookout and enjoy, man. Be there and be square, man. I want to thank our guest this week, Mr. Calvin Greene II, man, the owner, founder of Black's Ferry Meadery. Thank you for sitting in with us this week, brother.
No problem. Glad to be here, like I said.
Hey, look, man, I thank you so much for your transparency during the first segment of your interview, because I know there's so many members of our audience that haven't been exposed to the process of creating meads. They definitely haven't had the opportunity to actually meet a founder of a meadery company and know anything about the process and some of the services and things that you provide. So thank you so much. But I want to provide our audience with some background as far as you as a businessman and entrepreneur. Because I'm sure when you go out now and you're marketing and you're expanding, people can appreciate your business acumen for the person you are right now. But sometimes your evolutionary process can be undervalued by those that weren't there with you in the beginning. So for our audience, could you please, Mr. Greene, just share a little bit about who was your mentor as far as getting into the mead process, the winemaking process, and how is it, what inspires you to just continue to move forward in that direction?
Wow.
So one of my mentors, his name is Ron, and he is a meat maker out of Mystic Oaks. So it's in Anahuac.
Okay.
So just linking up with him and another gentleman named Jim, they were really instrumental in our development as meat makers. And also it's Rohan Meadery. There are only 16 meaderies in Texas, so we're one of them. And Rohan, though, they were in LaGrange, they were really instrumental as well. So just understanding the process, going up, tasting their wines, honey wines, going through, seeing how they did it. They were just really transparent with everything. It was just something that got me excited about the process. So, but you know, like with anything, we initially just started drinking it and fell in love with it. So, you know, I tell everybody, the more you drink, the better you feel. So that's just a plus about it, you know. So,
no, it's great because you know, sometimes like winemaking, for some people feel like that you have to have a background as far as farming or having a green thumb, that type of thing. But I'm really curious about the path that you walked to get where you are. One of the things that we talked about off camera was the significance of the shirt that you're wearing today.
Oh yeah,
and how that influenced you to move forward as a business person and entrepreneur. So if you wouldn't mind sharing that story with the audience, we're curious to hear about that.
So, you know, I got my Domino's shirt on, you know. One reason I wore it because it fits good, you know, brother gained a little weight, you know what I'm saying?
But polo still work. Let's go with it.
You feel me? But, you know, this is part of the journey because people who want to be an entrepreneur, I mean, y'all know it's about sacrifice, it's putting in time, it's doing things you necessarily don't want to do. And when COVID hit, this was one of the things that I necessarily didn't want to do. But if I want to see my dream survive, I have to adapt, make sure I can bring in a little bit of funds to keep it rocking, but make sure we adjust to what the market is currently. And so this was it. My wife and I, she was working at the meadery, and then I work at the plant. You know, I had a little job over there, but it was one of those things, money was getting tight. I said, what are we going to do? So Domino's was part of the solution. It allowed me to pivot in a direction to where I could then understand what I needed to do to get back running again. So this shirt, you know, it does hold significance because it's about sacrifice. What are you willing to do to make sure your dream doesn't die and that it survives?
No, it's interesting that you bring that up because we all know that the pandemic affected all business owners and entrepreneurs in myriad ways. But for you in particular in the winemaking business, what kind of challenges did you encounter during the pandemic that you've had to be inventive to overcome? What type of challenges did you face, and what did you do to get past those obstacles?
So they actually, governor shut us down. Like, you couldn't come to the establishment to sample. We couldn't go out to specs because first year, it was a blessing we got in specs and total wine our first year just on meat alone. So after that, we had this huge momentum, but then it's all shut down because we can't send our people out to sample and taste. So then after that, it's like, all right, what, like you said, what are we going to do? So then the Domino's came in, but then we got inventive. Okay, I can send out little sampling kits to different people, and they can order them and they can do in-home tastings. And that's what we started doing, in-home tastings, virtual tastings. And then instead of us, like, it was more of a internet type of campaign as opposed to in person. Because I'm old school. Like, I like going, shaking your hand, licking your face, talking to you, establishing that personal relationship. So it changed it for me, having to switch over into the age of, having to do the videos and the Instagram posts. And so it did. It changed direction for us.
I never thought about that, man. That was uniquely smart, though. That's how you pivot. Something like that, doing those virtual tastings, mailing out kids. I never thought about that, but that's a great.
No, but
really capitalizing on.
The most powerful part of your testimony is that I want everybody in the audience to understand what you just mentioned, is that even after you had the success of getting your product in specs and in Total Wine, you still were humble and grounded enough that in a pinch, you would be willing to take a position and do some things with Domino's Pizza, where a lot of people, when they reach that level of success, that they actually see their product on the shelf somewhere as popular as a Specs or a Total Wine, that they will look for any excuse not to do what it is that you felt you had to do to keep your ship floating. So, and Larry, from times as long as you've been in real estate, the ups and downs of building companies and ups and downs of being an entrepreneur, sometimes you have to do some things outside of your comfort zone. So just speak to us, because I don't really think that members of our audience understand that as you sit here with us, and I want to thank you for your time, that they can actually get your products from a Specs or a Total Wine. So what is it if we have people that are checking us out on their cell phone and they pulling up to a Specs right now, what should they be looking for on the shelves that come from Black's Ferry Meadery?
So we should have all of our flavors. So the main Specs rate is the downtown off Smith Street. We're in Galveston, Angleton, and then we're in Bay Area. So if you walk in, you just look for it says Black's Ferry. It's a smaller bottle at 375 mil. But we put all those. It helps us disperse the product a little bit better. But that's what we put it in. But you can look for us there, and it's a ferry with a little looking mace. So it's that's our logo. But walk in there, ask for Black's Ferry. They should direct you straight to it. We're in all the Total Wines.
Come on
Houston.
Now. Wow. So, congratulations, brother. That's lovely.
That's a big deal, man.
That's a huge deal. What are we talking about? Stop playing with me.
Come on.
Appreciate it,
bro.
Appreciate it. So if you walk in, you can get the product there. So it's pretty neat to see that idea of a concept actually manifest itself on the shelf. And all it was, people think you gotta put all this money and hire all these street teams, and that was just me going, knocking on doors, passing out the product. My best friend Valor Thomas, shout out to my boy Valor, but he was really instrumental as well in helping us get in those stores. But it was really just us being persistent. And so that just shows, like, you don't necessarily have to have a gazillion dollars. It's just what's your determination? How serious are you about your dream? And again, what are you going to do to get it?
And what you're going to do? It's crazy, because we say that all the time in real estate. Fortune is in the follow-up, but it's that consistency.
It is.
There's nothing in this world that builds a muscles faster, a business faster than consistency, because people want to see consistency. And so I think that being consistent and then you buying into your own product, meaning I'm not going to let it fail. I'm going to do whatever it takes. A second job, a third job, but we're going to make this thing work. We're going to come up with the income. Man, that's impressive, man. You can't fail when you do that. So
appreciate it.
Nah, big huge shout out, man. Just before we sign off this week, one last shout out, Black's Ferry Meadery. Are we on Facebook? Where can people tap in and stay up to date of what's going on with you all?
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We TikTok. We got a couple.
Let's go.
A couple videos on there. So just those are our major platforms. But any shares you could give us, we really appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Appreciate you so much. Tex Real Estate King.
What up, boss?
Okay, now we spilled the beans a little bit about the cookout this weekend with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, man. What's going on in the world of Mr. Larry Brooks? How can people tap in, meet, greet, and interact with you in person?
Man, you follow me on IG. I'm out and about. I'll be in the city this week. Most definitely, you're welcome to come to the Brooks and Davis cookout, family reunion, whatever you want to call it. We rocking and just, having fun, blessing, giving out gifts, and eating good. That's it. So
that's what's up.
Find us at that park. Again, if you go to the IG page, you'll be able to get the details. Also, we have several events taking place at the office tonight. I think we got study hall, and a few other building events for those of you that are in the real estate profession or even want to get into the real estate profession. We'll have some things at the office for you.
Absolutely. And I want to invite everyone in the real estate community, all those buyers agents, those buyers that have been out in the market looking for a beautiful home for their family. I'm going to invite you to the open house that I'm hosting this Saturday from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Follow me on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. You can also follow us on Instagram at the Prime Real Estate Network. You'll get all the information about this week's open house. If you're a buyer, tell your agent to tap in, man, from 2 to 5 this Saturday, man. I love to see everyone out there.
One other plug
Cool.
For all of y'all out there, please feel free to follow us across all of the platforms, not just one, and do us a huge favor and share and give this conversation to friends. That means so much to us. That's the ultimate compliment, to be able to refer us to someone else. Just this audio or this video that you'll see on YouTube, we would appreciate it.
Hey, man, that's outstanding. Appreciate that shout out as well. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning into the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. Until next Thursday at the noon hour, everyone out there in the audience, be safe and be blessed.